Sip it like it's coffee. Yeah. Welcome.
Welcome to Sip It Like It's Coffee.
Sip it like it's coffee.
Sip it like it's coffee.
Yeah. Oh,
There you go.
There it is. There it is.
Good runs.
Welcome. What are we doing today, Big Mike?
Well, today we're going to be talking about our favorite whiskeys, our go-to whiskeys for $30 and under.
Woo! Why is this important? Because
Cuz.
some of you guys are trying whiskey for the first time. Some of you guys want to invite people to your house, never had whiskey before, and you need some regular people to tell you what's good at Stater Brothers, or at the local market. Here's our choices.
And the majority of these picks you can find at a grocery store. I got this at Ralph's. I got this at Ralph's. They have this at Costco. They have that at Ralph's. You can get this at any Bevmo or... you know what? I haven't looked for this at Ralph's. That's going to be a mission for me.
Yeah, so we're going to go through them one by one pretty quickly. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. We'll answer them up. But thanks for joining us. If it's your first time with us, welcome to Sip It Like It's Coffee. And let's start. Should we go left
We're going to
to
start
right?
with the lowest.
Lowest? Why
The
lowest? What do you
lowest
mean?
price, the lowest. We're going to go from low to high. First on our list is Evan Williams Bottled in Bond.
My favorite.
Bottled in Bond. So for $17, there is not a better bourbon on the market. This has great proof on it. It's got some great notes, some great oak notes. It's charcoal filtered like a Tennessee whiskey.
Sour mash.
Sour mash. But it's a great whiskey. I mean, it's got some great flavors. It's not gonna overwhelm you. What do you like about it?
I like that. Normally, I didn't really mess with Evan Williams because it was like the typical go to Applebee's and they had that at the well. But this particular white bottle, so look for the white because this Bottled in Bond, we talked about it in the last show. It means something special.
It does have a meaning. It means it has to be distilled, bottled at the same distillery. So it can't be sourced whiskey. You get a lot of whiskeys that are sourced from different distilleries. You got some from MGP and then some from Dickel, and they take those bottles and in other words, it's made at the same place and bottled at the same place.
Word.
It hasn't been made at one place and then bottled at another place. And it's always 100 proof. Anything that's bottled in bond is 100 proof.
At least.
Now, it's going to be 100. I've never seen them bottled in bond over 100. Anything bottled in bond is 100.
So, look for the white bottle. Let them know that, Sip It Like It's Coffee sent you.
And what's the price on that?
$17.99.
$17.99. You cannot beat that.
Yeah. And it mixes well, too. So
It doesn't, yeah, and you don't mind if somebody spills this on the ground.
Right. Someone gets too loose and they start.
Somebody spills this, you're not tripping.
You're not tripping.
Exactly.
But,
All right.
What we got?
The next least expensive bottle, I would say, is, I don't know.
This one.
It was a Wild Turkey.
I think it was a Wild Turkey.
Wild Turkey 101. Now, this gets a bad rap because some of you probably grew up in college taking shots of this.
Right, because it was real cheap.
It is real cheap.
Yeah.
What most people don't know is Wild Turkey is one of the oldest distilleries in North America.
Did not know that.
And this is not bad whiskey. First of all, if you go to a bar, let's say you go to a bar and you see all the whiskeys they have up there. They got a Woodford Reserve, they got Maker's Mark, all these other whiskeys. They're charging $10 to $12 for a pour.
2.5 ounce pour.
Right, and 90 proof. 90 proof. Normally, Wild Turkey is sitting on the shelf at 101 proof, and you can get a shot of this, a pour of this,
Right.
for $7.
Dirt. You could trade licorice
Dirt,
for.
and I'm taking it all day if
Yeah.
you got one-on-one, guys. So don't sleep on this. This has great caramel notes. It's sweet on the palate. You got to be a whiskey drinker to pick up the nuances of the different types of whiskeys. But if you like sweet, it's a classic bourbon. It's not going to overwhelm you with sweet. It's not a wheated bourbon like Larceny is. So it's not going to have that much of that's not going to be that sweet. But for the money, I think this was, what did I say this was?
21?
This was $21.
Yeah.
Okay? Some of you are turning your nose up right now, but don't sleep on wild turkey. You need to have this in your staple because it's great as a mixer. It's great neat. It's great on the rocks. All of these are, but this one in particular is something you don't want to sleep on. Think about it.
Don't sleep on the turkey.
Yeah.
This was, when I was bartending, was one of the on-the-shelf whiskeys, so it wasn't in the well, but rarely ordered, and I had a bad stigma, like Mike said, but when I tasted it, it's nice. So try it out. It's $21.
You know what I think it is? I think just the name.
Maybe there's a turkey on
The
it.
name
So.
wild turkey just makes you think like something in the country. Like it's just cheap. But it's not. It is cheap. It doesn't cost a lot, but this is a very good brand.
Yes.
Very good whiskey to drink. I'll take this over a lot of whiskeys on the show.
Word.
All right. Next up.
Next, I think we got Larceny.
We have Larceny. Yes, Larceny is a Heaven Hill product. Heaven Hill is a distillery, and it is a wheated bourbon. So in comparison to this, other wheated bourbons, Maker's Mark is a wheated bourbon. Wilderness Trail has a wheated bourbon it's out. Who else?
92 proof.
It is 92 proof.
And it's attractive. Like, I've got literally people, when they buy me whiskey, they don't, especially folks that don't know what I drink or just know that I like whiskey, have handed me this bottle for birthdays or special events. I think off the bat, it's just the packaging is really nice.
Yeah, it is a nice bottle.
Yeah,
it is a nice bottle.
For a cheap bottle.
And a lot of people that I meet have asked me, hey, what do you think about Larceny? Like, they really like it. Now, this is a wheated bourbon. It's gonna be sweeter than most of the bourbons that you drink. So this has some really good sweet caramel notes, maybe some orange peel. A lot of times, like I said, this stuff that I'm saying to you guys, you may not get it off. Some of you may drink this and be like, I don't get any of those notes. Take your time.
Knows it.
Try it in a mixed drink. Try it on the rocks, just so you get used to it, and eventually you guys will graduate. I wasn't always here. He can tell you, I was an old-fashioned guy. I like to put a ton of syrup in my drink, and I just like the sweet. And over time, I graduated.
And this is actually one of the, I'm sure when we bring our cocktail guy on, we're gonna use a Larceny or a type like Larceny just because it mixes awesome. Like the sweet notes bring it out, and the old fashioned, when you add a little sugar, it gets even, it opens up even more. So I think this is a really nice one to mix. If nothing else,
it is.
Keep that on the shelf.
Yeah, all of the bourbons we have up here are great mixers. It just depends on what type of drink you want. If you want a more expensive pour, which isn't really that much more expensive, Larceny is a good pick. Evan Willams, you know, is just one of our favorites because it's so cheap. It's got the malt liquor twist cap on it.
I already know how I feel about it.
Everything else up here has cork pops, but this has the malt liquor twist cap. So.
Ain't nothing wrong with them.
There's nothing wrong with the twist.
You know what I mean?
Nothing wrong.
If you roll to a party and hit them with one of these, and they taste it, they'll be all right.
All right. Next on the list, the
Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace, classic bourbon. When I first started getting into whiskey, I was in the mixed drinks. So primarily I wanted to do classic mixed drinks. I wasn't really into the really super sweet. I wanted something where I could taste the bourbon.
Right.
But I also wanted, some flavorings, some subtle flavorings with bitters and whatnot. So Manhattans,
old fashions.
Constance got me into Manhattans.
Yes. Manhattans are the bomb.
The girl we used to work
it's a
with.
good place to start.
Yeah. By the way, Lazy Dog has some of the best Manhattans you ever want to try.
Right.
With Maker's Mark, by the way. But I bought this and I bought Bullet Rye. Both really good whiskeys. Of course, Bullet Rye is a rye whiskey, and I tended to gravitate more towards the rye because you could taste those spices in it. It was just a better pour for me. But I slept on this. And a lot of times you'll find out more about different whiskeys and you'll gravitate to them more just because of the history behind them, and you know what you're drinking. For some reason, I don't know, maybe it's a Jedi mind trick, where you just started like, you know what, I know the history behind this, and it's good to know. So Buffalo Trace is one of the distilleries behind well, that's where Pappy Van Winkle. That's where the
From Buffalo Trace?
Buffalo Trace.
Hey.
Yeah. All of the Wellers, if you know anything about Weller, the mash bill for Weller is basically Pappy Van Winkle. For those of you who are into that type of stuff. That's a snobby
That's a snobby stuff. So just know if you go order some Pappy at the whiskey bar, you're paying like $100.
You're going to pay too much. And it's not worth it. Because Pappy's a weeded bourbon too.
But this is
just like Larceny.
This is actually the first bottle I got as a gift when I told someone I like whiskey. And when I told someone I like whiskey, it was because of old fashions.
Okay.
I was like, man, I love old fashions. And when they gave me this bottle, I didn't have old fashioned stuff, so I said, I'm gonna try this out by itself. And this is what I recommend to people for the first time. Bullet, all these up here would be really good first time, first try bourbons. And
now, when we talk about smooth,
yeah, smooth with a V.
Smoothie. All right, it's still bourbon.
Yeah.
If you don't drink bourbon and you drink this, it's not gonna be smooth. But if you do, I've introduced this to people who are used to drinking other bourbons, and when they've had this, it's like, man, that was really good. It's not too harsh on the palate. It has a nice finish, but it's not a super long finish. And it drinks well. Great with cocktails, great on the rocks,
absolutely. Great
neat. $25.
Enjoy that. Let us know what you feel. Also, man, let us know when you try one of these, which one was your favorite. Maybe you out of all these on the shelf already, maybe someone's recommended one, maybe we're gonna try any of them for the first time. Let us know, because we wanna read your comments and see which one you like the best.
All readily available, all accessible throughout the United States.
Easy.
All
right.
Last on the list.
I just learned about it today.
Yeah, I put Brian up on game today. Most of you have looked at this whiskey on the shelf and thought, nah.
Old Granddad
114.
There's a creepy guy on there, big 114. Mm-hmm. Old Granddad.
Just the name Old Granddad makes you think of some janky, like moonshine, or like when I first saw this, I totally overlooked it. It got some honorable mention from some people that I respect.
Yeah.
And I said, all right. And shout out to Paul. Paul Antonez told me that he loves Old Granddad. So shout out to Paul, my buddy I went fishing with. You saw him in the fishing video. But he big upped 114. I already had it by then, but I hadn't cracked it open. And when he said this is what he drinks like on the regular and it was really good, I went to it. And my God.
It's bomb.
It's bomb. Yeah. Guess what the proof is? 114. But you're talking about now we haven't nosed anything or drank it, but this is what we've been sipping on, and I can tell you now that since this is opened up,
sweet,
I get dark caramel molasses.
Yeah,
man, this is just a flavor bomb on the nose. Just on the nose is a flavor bomb. Prior to shooting this video, I took a sip of this and said, man, this is really good.
I said some bad words. I said 2 bad words when I drank this. And Mike said, I already know. There's something about it. I mean, once it opens up, it's beautiful.
If you find this is the $30 bottle.
Yeah, so right at the mark.
This bottle was $30.
Under 30.
But you cannot go wrong.
Great. I haven't mixed it. Have you mixed it?
I haven't. I've only drank it neat. But maybe when we're gonna do a mixed drink video where we're gonna have our expertise bartender come on. He's a great bartender. We got another guy who's a really good bartender.
So maybe we'll make a classic, like an old fashioned or Manhattan, and we'll do one crazy one, like one we made up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, we'll do some comparisons, guys. But Old Granddad, you cannot go wrong. You should be able to find it at your local Bevmo, Total Wine. You might get lucky and find it at Ralph's. This still has the Ralph's tag on it. But all of these are great whiskeys, $30 and under.
Yeah, we're gonna put the names on here, line them up so that you can see them up close, because I always know it's kind of hard to see from this angle.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
Man, we hope you enjoyed the top Sip It Like It's Coffee's top choices under $30.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we appreciate you guys. Hey, if you like this video, smash that like button.
Hey. And where else can they find you, bro?
You can find me on Instagram at BZQ. Of course, this channel, the YouTube channel at BZ Cooks.
You can find me, Brian Superb Oliva.
Superb Oliva.
Yeah, so
on IG, guys. So if you like this content, smash that like button, subscribe, share this video with all your family and friends. Until then, guys, sip it like it's coffee.
on top.
Sip it like it's coffee.
Yeah.
See y'all later, y'all.